Welcome to the 5B.1 note set on numbers 101 and higher. On this slide, you see the basic vocabulary for this note set. There are rules for hundreds, thousands, and millions, which you will see on future slides in this presentation. For hundreds, the basic word is cent. If it's an even hundred, you add an S. The second sample down here at the bottom is I have 400 CDs. Because it's an even hundred, your cent does has the S. However, if there is a tens digit or a ones digit within your hundreds, there is no S. So the first sample here, there are 230 days of sun. The cent does not have an S because the trente, another tens and one digit, is after it. For thousands and millions, the number un is not used before the word mille to mean 1,000 or 1,000. However, it is used before million to say 1,000,000 or 1,000,000. If you wanted to say 1,000 people live in the village, 1000 personnes, and you don't have an un in front of it. However, if it's a million, 1,000,000 people live in the city, 1,000,000. Mille never changes, it never takes an S. Million does if it's plural, which you will see on the next slide. The two samples down at the bottom, there are 7,000 books in the library. Mille does not have an S. The population of Park Ridge is 37,000. Again, your mille does not have an S. Before a noun, million and the plural form are followed by de, because you literally say 3 million of persons live in Paris. That's the first example. It's an idiom. There's nothing you can do to change that. There are 11 million inhabitants in the region. The idiom in French, there are 11 million of inhabitants in the region. For years, sometimes the mille is shortened to MIL, and you only do this for years. So 1865, you have to spread it out so that it's 1,865, so 1865. For 1776, you stretch it out to make it 1,776, 1776. Mathematical functions in French can be formal and informal, just like a lot of other grammar that you've learned. The grammar on these charts shows you the informal terms for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and also the more formal version. Generally, people pick which form they want to use, and then they stay with it consistently. So there's nothing really that says you have to use an informal in a certain situation or a formal in a certain situation. It's just your choice, and then you kind of would always say it that way. So pick your column and go with it. The word pourcent is used for formal and informal. It's not on the chart. It's something that can go on either side. Égal, to equal, is singular, but the verb faire makes it plural. The font is informal math, and the égal is more formal. So if you're using the more formal mathematical terms from the previous slide, you would be using égal. If you're using the informal ones, you would be using the word font. Sometimes even in English you say 3 times 3 makes 9. So that is consistent. Don't forget, again, about those decimals. The functions of the decimals and the commas are flipped. The French version of 5,419 and 32 100ths looks like this, and the French version of 14,301 and 94 hundredths looks like this. These are practice problems, which we may or may not have done when we took the notes. If you did them and had questions, or if you didn't do them and want to do them for practice now, please see me to check your answers and then ask any other questions that you might have after watching this video. This is the end of the video.